The first responders on the front line in the battle against the national opioid epidemic got a new guideline this week from the Drug Enforcement Agency on how to handle the incredibly deadly drug fentanyl. It's called Fentanyl, a Brief Guide for First Responders. Joining us on the Kogo News Live line is addiction specialist Ryan Davis. Good morning, Ryan.
Good morning. Thanks for having me on.
Okay, good. I can hear you now. So why is it so important for first responders to have this guide?
Reason being, fentanyl is becoming the most dangerous drug in America, if not in the world, because it is 50 to 100 times more potent and more powerful than heroin is. And a little amount as small as 3 grains of sugar is lethal in some adults. So just saying that, you can tell how serious this drug really is.
So when first responders, let's say EMT, firefighters, things like that, when they're getting to these scenes, could they be getting some of this residue on them?
They can, and that's why they have to be very prepared, and we have to train our first responders on how to deal with fentanyl, because we don't know now. We don't know if it's cocaine or if it's heroin or it could be fentanyl. And if it is fentanyl, then we have to be very prepared and know how to handle and what to do to dispose of this very lethal drug. Now,
I've heard about some of these first responders trying to brush it off their clothing and having a reaction. What has happened to them?
Right. So everyone has a different tolerance for, any opioid, and especially fentanyl. So some of them are, getting the littlest amount on their skin, and they're actually overdosing and having to be revived with a Narcan shot, which is very alarming for all of our first responders. That's why they have to be aware of their situation and know how to handle this.
Any idea how many times this has happened? Does it keep happening?
That's a great question. I'm not sure how much it's happened, but definitely if they're not trained, it's going to keep happening, and it's going to result in more deaths of our first responders. And just for us in Houston at Taylor Recovery Center, 90% of our clients are opioid addicts. They're addicted to opioids, and that's an alarming number, and it keeps going up. So we have to get a handle on this drug. Whatever we have to do, we have to put a stop to it.
And why do you think this epidemic is getting worse?
Because drug dealers are putting this fentanyl, they're mixing in with heroin, and all of the people that they're selling this drug to, they have no clue that there's fentanyl in their heroin or whatever they're buying. So they're becoming more and more addicted because it's more powerful than heroin. So the addiction obsession becomes more powerful and harder to get rid of. So that's why we have to put a stop. I don't know what we have to do, but we have to put a stop to get this fentanyl being on the street.
All right, Ryan, thank you for your time.